wind. The sound of wind can be memorable. Peaceful moments moving across fields. Terrifying moments as it brings down mighty trees, carrying change through storms and sails. In a world of dark, you hear wind now, and one of your memories of wind rises to the surface. We won't meet your characters properly just yet, but for now, just tell us, what does your character think of as the wind blows? Ryan, start with you.
I would think of training on a mountainside with my mentor.
Luna.
I would think of leaves rustling through trees and a sky full of stars.
Daisy.
I would think of standing in a clearing, the wind causing me to turn around.
Addison.
I would think of sandy feet and sea breeze across my cheeks.
Mattie Mae.
I would think of a fire in a hearth and the sparks blowing in the wind.
These memories become rich in this moment. But then the memory of wind quickly fades as consciousness comes to you and the wind is ripping past your ears, blending with the screams of hundreds of falling people around you as your mind finally starts to make sense about what happened a few seconds ago. Your eyes now focus to see the burning city beneath you. If you were to look to your side, you'd notice these 4 other individuals close by, your fellow attendees, military and party crew careening down with you, and strange and small, rotted green aberrations as one turns a creeping eye stalk towards you as it keeps the one thing that would save you and everyone else from dying working. You only have seconds before all of you die. But let's come back to that here a little bit later, here on Religion Check. Welcome, heretics. This is Religion Check, a Dungeons and Dragons show for the deconstructed. I am your dungeon master, Braddock Eason, and I'm here with my table of Prodigal Pilgrims. Let's meet them all. We have Addison, we have Daisy, we have Luna,
Hey.
we have Mattie Mae, and we have Ryan. Are we all ready to roll for religion?
Fuck yeah.
Yes!
Great, awesome. So this is our first episode of our live play Dungeons & Dragons game. And if you don't know what Dungeons & Dragons is or how to play, that's okay. All you need to know is that we're going to collectively create a story. And many times we'll be relying on the roll of dice. Here's one of those right here, our legendary D20s, to let us know what happens next. So let's begin. Well, let's actually, let's go back a few hours when things were maybe a little less stressful. So we come into the beautiful capital city of Aerathis. The jewel in the heart of Feltrand awakes on this special day, the Festival of Dawn's Victory. Many have traveled here today from across the world of Dawn who have longed to see Aerathis' countless seed-shaped spires, its uniquely designed interlocking tensile structures to hold various skyships up while still allowing the sun and moon's light to grace the beautiful streets of trees and flowers, grasses, and small patches of farmland below. There's wide canals running throughout, fed from the nearby lake of Tomer, where small enchanted boats carry missives throughout the city from one end to the other as they go along. And as you see these missives, if you are on the streets, you see also annoyed shop-owning parents yelling at their children to help them get ready for the big day. But the children are chucking rocks at these little missive boats as they go by. As some of you might know, the boats were enchanted recently to take evasive maneuvers from a formal request of the council member of trades and guilds. You all are spread across this city, so how about we roll to see where we start first? So let's all roll for the first time of the session a d20, and then let me know what you get. It's a big decision.
Pick the prettiest one.
That's what I picked.
What's the check?
It's just tell me what you got. Highest number, that's what it is.
I rolled 10.
10. Got
I
a
got
1?
a 9.
9?
7.
I got a 17.
You got a 17, Luna?
Yeah.
All right.
Guys, we gotta get these rolls up before the city's burning.
It's the first one.
Amazing. All right, let me go around here. Got my big notes document here. All right. So we come across the city from these street side canals and come to a part of Aerathis just off the main city square at one of the nicer inns of the city, the Shinmore Inn, where our resident elf hears a rapping on her window on the 5th and top floor of this luxurious inn. Luna, go ahead and tell us who you are, what you look like, what your room looks like in the current state, whether you're awake yet as the sun has now crested over the horizon, and how you react to this rapping at your window.
So, I am playing Delphira. Do I say my class?
You can say whatever you'd like.
Okay. I am playing an astromancer wizard. And despite the fact that the sun has, as you said, crested over the horizon, I am absolutely not out of bed. I am 100% asleep until this tapping comes at my window. So I think she ignores it for the first few, hoping whoever it is will just go away. When it doesn't happen, she will, get up, and her whole, I wouldn't say she sleeps in a gown, but I wouldn't say she sleeps in not a gown. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's silk, it's bias cut, it is fitting. So that's what we have on. We've got fluffy slippers, and I think I'm gonna pull on a nice robe. Matching, obviously, because who would I be if not? So, matching robe, we're gonna tie the sash, check in the mirror to make sure that my bonnet is secure before I go over to the window. Can I just peek outside of the curtains?
Amazing. Yeah, I like how there's no concern for this either. Like, 5th floor, rapping on my window, no big deal. So as you pull the curtain back, you see the red fur and bright eyes of a fox pawing at your window with a leather scroll case in its mouth.
Brix! Okay, I fling open the window. I am immediately awake. I'm just the most excited. I have not seen Brix in weeks. So make room. I pull the big, thick bedspread off the bed and make a little nest so that she can put, sit in it and rest.
Amazing. Bix hops down immediately, goes to this makeshift bed, stretches, lays on her back with scroll in mouth, and just kind of throws it out right in front, knowing that you'll take it eventually. But also you see like a slight look out of her eye that you know to be like an expectant look for something else.
Tummy rubs, obviously. Mm-hmm. The more vigorous, the better. Mm-hmm. Bix loves a rough pet, so.
Yeah. You hear some weird like just enjoying the heck out of it as you do it.
I would also love to go over to my my bag and pull out some treats, because if Bix can come wherever I am, I'm gonna have treats no matter what. So 2 treats are what my parents say to give her. So obviously I'm giving 3.
Just immediately gnawing all of them. You see, after the treats, she does nose the scroll a little bit more.
All right. I'll take a look at it.
Great. So you take the scroll. I assume you open it up. So the moment you open it up, you hear your mother's voice to go along with the first 25 words. You hear, "Dearest, we received the payment from the delivery of Aerathis. Thanks as always for your diligent, intentional, and thorough work. You've represented the business and then the spell fades, but you can read the rest of it. Family well. It appears you accidentally sent us an invitation with the payment, so we've returned the invitation in case you might find it of use while you remain in the city. Eagerly await our next missive. All love, Mother and Father."
Invitation. I don't recall sending an invitation, so let's check it out.
You grab it, which kind of fell to the ground after you open up the scroll, and you see it's an invitation to one of the many parties throughout the city for the holiday. A name that you have read recently, actually. It says, "You are welcome aboard the Silver Comet for imbibing and dining while participating in viewing the parade of Dawn's victory. Boarding starts at the terse hour."
Hey,
So,
the terse hour.
yeah. What reaction do you have? What comes over your face as you hear the term Silver Comet?
I think up until this point, I have been just excited, happy to see Brix. Silver Comet, though, there is almost like a shuddering. Interesting. So I'm definitely going. I do love a party, but I'm not expecting to be there in my normal capacity. I'm not expecting to be able to just go and la-di-da have fun.
And as this kind of look, the shuddering comes over you, you hear a as you look, and your lantern beetle slowly flies through the air, holding a star chart between its 2 front pincers, letting you, waiting for you to also take your star chart, as that's how you start out every day, is by looking at your charts.
So I'll take it. I'll take a look.
All right. So now we're going to get your first portent rolls, which astromancers are flavoring of a diviner wizard. So let's go ahead, roll your 2 portent rolls, which will dictate your day based on your understanding of the stars and celestial movements.
All right.
And you can describe this more too if you want, of like, what's your process behind getting these 2 rolls?
Oh. I think I am looking at the star chart and just trying to navigate everything that's going to happen today. I want to glean as much information as I possibly can. I don't like surprises. So if there's something that I can know, I want to know. And if it's bad, I want to be able to fix it to the best of my ability. So I'm just looking, I'm seeing, and portent rolls are d20s, right?
Yes.
Let's see what we got. That seems right. So I got a 5 and an 18.
Perfect portent rolls. Honestly, I feel like those are the best portent rolls you can ask for. You got something to succeed, something to make somebody else fail. It's the best.
Yeah.
And for those new to D&D, portent rolls, at any point, Luna as Delphira can decide to make any roll in the game one of these numbers. And so Delphira is literally learning of the stars and celestials and how the world is going to play out on this day, and is able to decide when that fate comes about. All right, so the next important questions are, what are you going to wear to this event? Do you do anything before the event? You have breakfast downstairs that'll be prepared for you whenever you're ready for that too, but I'm sure your outfit is also important. Or you can eat before you put your outfit on. Tell us what does Delphira do next?
Oh, I should definitely eat before, because once I get into that gown, it's snacks only. So go down. I want the best breakfast they have in this place. I'm talking a full spread. Normally when I'm back home, I just have tea and toast. So, I want a full teapot with the loose leaves available. I want the clotted cream. I want 3 different types of jelly. One of them must be local. Fresh made bread, everything.
So I was gonna have an NPC ask you like what you want, but I like
I'm
imagining you coming downstairs and just saying this automatically, and there is an attendant already who's like furiously writing all of this down, and you hear, "This sounds wonderful, miss," as this like little goblin is taking your order, and he says, "Would you like for me to bring this up to your room when ready, or would you like to reside down here and enjoy your tea as well while we prepare your food?"
Oh, I have a lot of work to do. I've got a big day ahead, so if you could bring it up to me, that would be wonderful.
That would be our delight, miss. Would you like for me to prepare a ride for you today, and if so, where would you like to attend?
What kind of ride? Is it a nice carriage?
I'm afraid on such an important day we'll be providing a rickshaw for you, but I promise that it'll be a very enjoyable ride nonetheless.
Who's pulling the rickshaw?
Well, today the Way of Apricity is offering rides across the city, so it'll be one of the monks of the Way of Apricity.
Ooh, a monk. Okay, yeah, let's do it.
Amazing. All right, we'll send your food up shortly.
All right. And then I'll go upstairs and get dressed. Throw open the what is that thing called?
Like the
Not a dresser.
wardrobe?
Thank you. The wardrobe. I'm like, that thing in Beauty and the Beast.
That kills people.
Throw open the wardrobe. It is full of gowns and gowns and gowns. Like if you had a closet full of like selkie gowns, this is my closet. It's the finest fabrics. It's velvet cloaks. So I am going to pick out something perfect. I'm gonna probably try on several different options first. So we may be a while, but that's why breakfast is getting delivered. Everything's in jewel tones. And I have a large box of all gold jewelry as well. So we'll be doing that shortly.
It's perfect.
Do you want me to tell you what I settle on, or you want to be surprised?
Let's save it for whenever we actually get to the ship. I like that idea. I think that's a cool idea.
You can have a fun reveal.
Yeah, definitely. And so it's not long until you hear the attendant come. His name is Baz, their name is Baz, as you've learned, like with your time there. And Baz says, "Miss, that we have your rickshaw ready whenever you are ready. We're having them hold on until you come downstairs, but it is ready whenever you are to set out."
Wonderful. Thank you so much. You may want to tell that lovely monk downstairs to have a seat. I'm going to be a minute.
It's a monk, so I'm not sure if they'll want to do that, but I'll do as you
They
wish,
can't
ma'am.
sit?
I'll do as you wish, ma'am. I only see them doing squats and things like that, and backflips and such. But
Okay. Tell him to have a squat.
I'll let them have those 2 options per your order, miss.
Thank you so much.
All right, so I assume you eat your breakfast, you put on your gown, you eventually come downstairs, and you see this monk You see that they're wearing, let me see what I got here. They're wearing like these kind of reddish robes that match their order, their way. You see as you walk up this dark-skinned female. She says, "Bonjour. Where in the city may I take you today?"
Well, bonjour. I actually would love if you could perhaps assist with one thing first. My shoe seems to be untied, and in this corset, I simply can't reach it. Would you mind?
Absolutely. This is what we are doing today. We are making sure ourselves are of service to the whole city of Aerathis. So quickly ties down. Fast as you can blink, it's tied. Like that's it. Like these things are dexterous. But you see, go ahead and why not? Let's make a persuasion check to see if this monk is picking up what you're putting down.
Yes. Persuasion. Oh, I'm not persuasive at all. She's bad with people, but she's pretty. That is. Luckily, I rolled high. That is still a 16 with my -1.
You might sense a little bit of lingering down below, and like maybe like as the monk pushes herself back up, like you might notice like their hand is a little higher on your ankle than you'd expect. I hope that is good for you. So where am I taking you today?
The Silver Comet.
Yes, the airfields. Yes, I'll take you there immediately. And so you see she prepares this seat for you in the back. It's cushioned. It's a very simple rickshaw though. And you see this monk goes to the front, picks up the 2 poles, and just starts running through the city. So you're going by these water canals. You're seeing everything set up in the city. You see like games are there, vendors are there. And this monk is just kind of trotting along, just going in their red monks, their red robes as they go through the city. And they call back, it's like, "Are you wanting to stop anywhere before we get to the airfields?"
Oh. No. I can't think of
Okay.
anything.
Just keeps on just running forward. And eventually you come to the airfields themselves, and you see this is like a massive space. So essentially the military's air, naval, whatever, I can't think of the terms right now. But it's just like filled here, and you see this monk just starts to kind of roam around until seeing where the correct one is. So I'm going to go ahead and roll for the monk to see how well she finds them. Has a hard time locating them, and she turns back to you and says, I'm sorry, madame, but do you see the ship what we are needing? Do you have any more information of where it might be?
Do I?
Make a perception check.
All right. Perception. 19.
19, you are able to pin the name of the ship off in the distance. You're not too far from it. Also with the 19, you look to your side and you see that Brix is just perched on top of another ship randomly, just and like kind of like sees you notice her and like tucks beneath, like kind of like the look of like, look what I'm about to do. And it's just like goes underneath. And eventually you come to this, and the monk stops in front and says, "Madame, this has been a pleasure for me to get you here today. Is there anything else I can do before you depart?"
Actually, do you have a book I could borrow? I only brought 3, and I really think this party is going to be quite long. So if you've got any reading material?
I don't carry books with me, I apologize. And but there are bookstores in town that you can maybe go to at some point.
Okay, so what if I decide to be fashionably late for this party, and maybe we go pick up 1 or 2 or maybe 5 extra things that might keep me entertained.
this puts me in a quandary, miss, because I am here to serve the needs of people today, and it seems like
Am I not the people? I do have me.
Go ahead and make another persuasion check.
Is this whole session just going to be us kicking our feet at Delphira's directions? Because that's what's happening right now.
It's so cute.
Oh, it's bad. It's bad. That's a 4.
And I just remember that I need to be somewhere, and you see the monk takes off immediately.
She's so fast.
But you join the queue of the line, and you see plenty of entertainment as a band is in place, and you see food is already up there and drinks, and from there we will go on to our next individual. I think 10 was the next highest one. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Was that you, Daisy?
Yeah.
Amazing. All right. So now we move to our next location.
Ooh.
So we come now to one of the oldest districts in the city of Aerathis, the Radiant District, which houses the various temples to the gods of the city, none of which stand larger than the primary deity of the Empire of Feltrin, Pelor. On the outskirts of this district stands a beautiful and ancient residence, the House of Tyrnok, built partially into one of the cliff sides that marks the border of the city. And we come now inside this house as we see an elegant elven woman dressed in plate mail with symbols of a sunrise across her plate, touches of gold here and there with a long halberd strapped to her back as she walks towards one of the rooms. As she knocks on the door and immediately lets herself in, Fenora, go ahead and describe what your room looks like, what you're doing in this hour as the sun is also just beginning to crest in the eastern horizon, and what you look like. Introduce us to Fenora.
Hi, Fenora here. I am a paladin. Very, very used to my mother walking in entirely unannounced. But I've been up since before the sun rose. The room is bare. Everything is well made, but it's not particularly heavily decorated. There are stacks of books, some open, some with sort of folded corners, some with bits of paper sticking out. And I have been up since before the sun. I've already done my exercises for the morning, so training with my longsword. I have had breakfast. Usually my mother tries to get the people who work in our house to make me my breakfast, but because I'm usually up before everyone else, I've gone down to the kitchen. It was a bare breakfast of eggs and toast and black coffee. And then I went back up to my room. At this point, I am preparing myself for the day, so I'm putting on my armor. Today is not a day in which I would be wearing a nice gown to the party. Recent events have inspired me to be better prepared for these kind of occasions. So I am putting on my armor. I'm wearing a lot of sort of green tones, a lot of earth tones. But I am prepared for the fact that my mother would walk in entirely unannounced and without waiting for me to invite her in. And I've been up long enough to have steeled myself for whatever kind of conversation we're probably going to have this morning.
Daughter, I was wondering if I might have a bit of your time before the matters of this busy day.
Of course, Mother.
And please follow me. And she starts taking you down one of the hallways in your house. You've kind of alluded to a little bit, but as you're walking down the hallway, going deeper into the cliffside of this home, subtly sloping down, how would you describe the energy between you and your mother?
It's not particularly warm. There is a level of sort of fealty towards her, but not a lot of affection. She looks at me, but looks through me more than looking at me. There's not a lot of emotion there beyond the sort of obligations of a daughter who is the oldest. And yeah, it's quite chill this morning, the energy between the two of us.
And as if to match that energy you sensing between you and her, the air is actually growing colder as you're now going to the areas of the house that your family has historically just used as storage, because most guests tend to not want to enjoy this area of the residence because it's colder, it's in the cliffside, but it's always been like it's like a kid's dream for hide and seek, like it has that kind of vibe. And your mother starts discussing with you more, and she says, "Did you have an enjoyable time at the gala last night?"
Yes. I made some new friends. It was a perfectly uneventful evening.
I saw you conversing with Delight. How is she these days?
She's doing very well. She was very helpful in introducing me to people and ensuring that I enjoyed the gala.
Yes, her accomplishments are quite impressive for someone of her age. Her efforts improving the relationships between Feltrand and the other nations. Aggressive but effective. Here we are. And you come to a large, dark wood door. You see burned into the wood is a shape that looks kind of like 3 thick lines that have been angled. 2 obtuse that almost mirror one another, and then 1 above that angles inward. This is not a symbol you have seen before, so you're kind of confused about what's going on. And your mother, as she comes to this door, she says, "I've been consulting old text." And she opens the door, and she also says, "And even conversing with your grandmother, but while also putting your father to work." And you step inside an incredibly dark room, though it is lit. But you see that there are 6 torches that have been placed into the wall, lit with these enchanted flames. But instead of letting the torches cast light into the rest of this room, you see 6 posts have been placed in front of each of them, creating long shadows that move towards what looks to be an altar on the far side. What is your reaction as you see this?
Immediately suspicious of why she's brought me here. Especially as over the past sort of 6 months, the relationship between us has become even more strained than it was growing up. So immediately I'm suspicious of why she's brought me down here, but also completely caught by curiosity. Something about this space has piqued my curiosity.
If you were to look at her, you would notice that she's looking only at you, and you hear her say, "I just wanted, I never, when you're," and you see almost like a stony visage comes over in this moment. She says, "We expect great things from you." And she turns to walk out, and she says, "I'll be working today, but I've prepared your shield and sword for you and your father to join you on one of the airships. Don't enjoy your time." And she goes down the hall. And so now you're left in this room.
Immediately roll my eyes because I knew what she was going to say before she cut herself off.
So now you find yourself in this room, strangely lit as these shadows move towards the altar in front of you.
Can I roll for investigation? Or actually perception?
Tell me what you're wanting to see, and I'll tell you which role that you might want to do, whether perception or investigation.
Is there anything in this space that feels sort of subconsciously familiar to me?
Are you wondering that from a religious perspective? If so, do a religion check.
Yes, I am, I think. Okay.
Name drop. Roll credits.
Oh.
Okay, so 13 and I add 3, so 16.
16. The same feeling that you felt as you came out of your travels, your stupor so long ago, you're getting that same sensation here, and you're feeling drawn as the same as the shadows pointing to it, drawn to this altar in front.
Okay. I think at this point I probably have my sword on me. I think when I got dressed this morning, it was definitely in preparation. So I think that I will draw it just in case, but walk towards the altar.
Okay, great. So you come towards this altar, and as your eyes adjust, you see the altar is made out of natural stones that are stacked to form a kind of table. There's no hewn stone at all. Natural stones have been brought to this place where all shadows are leading. You see as you come up to it that there's bowls of spice in front of the altar. You see juniper, rue, mugwort, cedar, and cinnamon bark. And on top of the altar, you see 3 unlit candles set up in a triangle. In the midst of them, it looks like someone has left a bundle of those herbs tied with red string. Juniper, rue, mugwort, cedar, and cinnamon bark. And you also see as well, there seems to be writing on the wall behind, but your eyes haven't quite adjusted yet. You think you might have to light the candles if you actually want to see what's written on the wall.
Okay. Immediately I'm remembering stories from my childhood. My mother mentioned that she's spoken to my grandmother. And the mention of my grandmother brings me back to being a child, sat with her, and listening to her tell stories about what these kind of herbs were used for, and what they were left for. So immediately I want to light the candles.
Okay. And easy enough, there's matches there for you to light it up, a little flint to get it off of. And you see words written in charcoal light up as you light up each one. Somebody has taken charcoal and edged on here, written 6 lines written in a proto-elvish script. And it says, "In seeking he is sought, for those the shadows caught. A web is but a nest, a bargain is a test. Watch lest you get lost, his gifts demand a cost."
I think immediately she is on guard. But there's something about this that also feels really comforting, because again, the stories that my grandmother told me feel like they are being brought into sharp relief in this space. You said this was a room I'd never been in before.
It was used as, you've been here before, it used to be a storage room. This stuff is all new. So like you kind of gather, like your mom said she's been doing research, she's been talking to your grandmother, she's put your dad to work. And also as these candles light up, casting a little more light in this area, you notice that there is fresh leaves have been put in a circle in front of this altar, and it's encircled by driftwood and moss. And you also notice an old book that's kind of leaning, but you just see that the book is there. You can't make out the words at this point because there's not enough light.
Do I recognize the handwriting on the wall? Like, do I know if it was my mother who wrote it or my grandmother?
Make investigation check with advantage.
Okay. 12. And then 12, and then can I roll again? Yeah, I can roll again.
Yeah, so advantage for those who are new is you roll a d20 twice, and you take the higher one. Natural 20! That's our first nat 20 in the game! Woo!
Let's go.
All right, because you're just figuring out what the script is, I'll give you some other stuff to do with this. So clearly your grandmother's writing. Like you're so used to her, especially like in this style, like charcoal, speaking about the old ways, like you can tell it's her. And then like everything with this, as you're connecting to her, comes to life. Of every story is coming into place now. Like what the herbs mean, she said they meant. The wrapped around with red twine. The candles themselves now, what driftwood and moss means. Like even the symbol you saw on the door, I'll give that to you now too. It's like this obtos with like one above. You turn your head in this moment and you just, in the negative space of the shadows of the 3 candles, you realize that is the symbol on the door. And so in this moment too, you have this book in front of you, and you can see the book. It's an old book with new binding, and the book is called, somebody's put the new title on it. It says Lost Research Tome of the Cult of Omskir.
Interesting. I think I'm immediately more comforted that my grandmother wrote it, that the handwriting is hers, but a bit confused about why my mother would take me here today. Considering her reaction to my first encounter with this story, and with this cult, and with this Omskir. I think I go to the book and pick up the book.
You pick up the book, and there's a lot going on in here. So from a DM perspective, as we move forward, I have a lot of information that I put inside this book for you to read. You also know that your father is potentially waiting for you at this time as well. So if you want, you can flip to a random page and see what pops up, or you can read it later. What would Fenora do at this time, as she knows her father's waiting for her, as well as knowing the strangeness of what's going on here and the curiosity of this book?
Fenora is a researcher, so she would want time with the book. This is not a flip through, find a chapter, give it a read. This is a book that means so much to her to have this information. So I think that knowing my father's waiting, I want to sort of take the book, not open it, but go towards the altar and take a moment in front of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you wanting to pray, or what do you do at this time then?
I think that I go to the altar and just sort of center myself there, in recognizing that all of these pieces that have felt a bit disconnected might start to feel like they're coming together in this moment. That things that felt like they were partially memory, or that they were sort of splintered parts of an experience, feel like this is a moment in which they're beginning to be woven into something that feels understandable and tangible. So I think in front of the altar, there's a moment that I want to take to just acknowledge that that's happening, and that I am allowing that to happen, that I want that to happen, but also to hold that moment in preparation for whatever this day is going to be, to ask for some guidance, to be met in that moment, I think.
Go ahead and make a religion check for me as you're processing this. Another religion check.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I was like, do I need to make every religion check advantage? That's what I was thinking.
Well, potentially, because that was an 8.
8 plus? Did you already add it to it?
I already added it to it, so I rolled a 5, and I add 3 to religion.
So, no big deal. You still feel that sense of, like, I've been here before, but not in this place. You know, like, that's, you've been in this feeling before. You've had these sensations before. And it's a mix of anxiety, but also comfort. It's a mix of the past, as well as this confusion now about the future and what your mom and father have done. But that's where you're left here. And you hear your dad call out, like, "Daughter, the rickshaw's here, if you're ready."
Okay. I think I blow the candles out.
Okay. All right.
And take the book and turn to leave the room and go meet my father.
Great. So as you go and leave, heading to the entrance where you know your father called you from, you see, since you said you already had a shield, you see a new cloak has been laid out for you, as well as a shield. And you notice that the shield has that same symbol hammered into the middle of it as an emblem. And the cloak has, it's kind of, it feels like that same driftwood and moss you saw around that circle, but those colors are embodied inside this cloak as well. And so you see your daughter, he's like, "Daughter, Ride is here. You have been in there for some time. Is everything okay?"
Can I ask a question before I answer him? Do I have time to put the book back upstairs in my room? Or am I taking the book with me?
Whatever you want to do. Tell me what you want to do.
I think the book feels precious enough to not want anything to happen to it.
Okay.
but then also knowing that the party's probably going to be a lot more about appearances and formality than it will be about me having fun, potentially could be good reading time.
Mm-hmm.
I think as not to anger my father or to make him wait any longer, I think I'll take the book with me.
Okay. Great.
So I turn to him and go, "Sorry, Father. I'm ready to leave now."
No apologies needed. Let's be on our way. And so, one thing we didn't comment on is, so we see your father now. Rahan is his name. He's a human. He's older. Your mom is Elvis. She's probably about like 200-ish years old. Your dad's about 73 years old. And so he says, "Come, dear," and he like goes to kind of like hold on to your arm to kind of help him out of the door. And you see another monk in front of a rickshaw is outside waiting for you. This massive ogre, 10 feet tall, also dressed in red robes as we saw earlier, but you see like some orange had to be thrown in too. Kind of like their best attempt to put this massive robe together. Almost looks like a tie-dye on her huge body. And she nods respectively as you come in. So this massive ogre's like, "Good morning! Where are we going off to today?" We're going to the Silver Comet in the airfields. Okay. And you see this monk waits for y'all to get in with her feet or her hands on the floor, waiting for y'all to hop in.
I think I help my father in and then climb in after him.
Great. The ogre stands up, and y'all are both like this with this massive ogre like holding up these, and just starts taking off through the city. And so a city you're very familiar with, a little bit further of a ride. But your father, in the midst of this, turns to you and says, "How many more of these do you think we have left?"
Parties, Father?
Moments. Your mother will be here for ages, and you will be here for ages, and I know that I'm a whisper in the wind in the extent of your life. I want these moments to be important.
I think I am struck by the sentimentality, because he's not particularly sentimental, or hasn't been, has become maybe more sentimental in the sort of past 6 months or so. And I think in being struck by that sentimentality, I sort of reach out to touch his arm and want to comfort him and say, "Well, I don't know how many moments we have, Father, but I appreciate you wanting to make them count." And I think I squeeze his arm.
Sorry I never did it sooner. Anyway, this is a day of celebration. What is your favorite part of this day of victory? How have you liked to celebrate in the past?
I think I remember from childhood hearing the stories of the victory, especially grandmother telling them. So those, I think, are my favorite parts. Remembering our history.
What a history it was. This is why we're here in the city now itself. It is really your mother's history. I'm happy to be a part of it. I like to think I'm a part of it by serving Pelor himself all those years ago. But happy to serve the house now and for the Tirnak name. Yes, the stories are always great, and you see like there's some going on over there, and you see like there are like areas of like stages set up across the city where like these stories are recounted of like people with swords and you know like there's kids around, they're like throwing out red scarves like represent like death and screaming in pain. Like all the horrific things in the midst of like that kids probably shouldn't see, but that's what you do on these weird holidays. And eventually you, in these moments, you can tell me if you say anything else to your father as you're arriving to the location.
I think the emotion of the conversation has me a little choked up, and so I think wanting to be prepared to have my face on and see people. I don't want to keep talking to him. Like, I don't want to keep the conversation going because I know that I'm not going to be able to steel myself in time for sort of meeting the general public. So I think that my hand might still be resting near his arm, but I'm sort of looking to the street and looking to the people preparing for the celebration, but I don't think I'm striking up any more conversation.
Great, that's perfect. So you come up, the rickshaw pulls up, you see like crowds of people are also forming around these airfields, like waiting for them to take off. So the rickshaw pulls past, this ogre stops, this monk stops, gets out, you and your father get out. Your father hands the ogre a gold piece, and you see like thank you, and then you see the ogre tosses it to the crowds where like a little boy and like kind of like seems to be impoverished catches it and just looks like whoa, and then the ogre takes off again, and y'all join the queue as well. All right, who was our next one? We had a natural 1 from Addison, 7 from Ryan.
I was 9.
9, all right.
Yeah, no, it was 9.
All right, because of that, Addison, you are looped into Mattie Mae's 9 because y'all are actually together. So now we move from that ride. And we find ourselves not too far from where we are here at the Spartan barracks of the Feltrand military. The country of Feltrand, the city of Aerathis, their military, stationed here in Aerathis, not too far from these airfields. We see as we come into one of these rooms of these barracks, a couple illegal decorations marking the walls of this small bunk-bedded room. We find 2 of our adventurers. Again, not quite time for you 2 to head out for what your responsibilities are the day. So what are y'all doing? Are y'all sleeping in? Have you been gathering breakfast? Something else? Let us know who you are, what you look like, what is going on in this room.
Sure. Dolly would be up and praying, and at the same time that she's praying, she would be scribbling down letters back home. So do you want me to now, like, do my character description?
Yeah, tell us what you look like. Give us all that kind of stuff.
Sure. So you see, praying and scribbling down letters to home, about a 16-year-old satyr. She's about 4.5 feet tall, and starting about the waist, she has some brown goat's legs, and she has just simple travel clothes on with a green cloak, and this green cloak would have signaled to anyone that she met that she was a midwife of Maytera on mission for the mother. And she is on a mission right now, and her mission is to bear witness to the world in all of its good and all of its bad. And so her witnessing has brought her to this point. You also see she has like some long brown hair, some horns that curl around her hair and are sort of tangled amidst it. Some floppy ears that come out of her hair as well. She has like beads and jewels sort of braided throughout her hair that she clearly hasn't messed with for a long time. She's very simple. She doesn't have any sort of like makeup on. She's got some freckles. She's very plain. And as she's sitting sort of cross-legged, scribbling letters and praying, she has a crow sitting on her shoulder.
Dick!
And that is Dick, and he only knows how to say cuss words.
Asshole! Dick! Amazing. So what is Dolly doing at this time? Oh, she's praying, she's writing letters. That's great. Amazing. So then we turn to the other side of the bedroom. What is your character doing, Addison? And introduce us to them.
Awesome. So I'm Sior Uthar. You see a tiefling woman about, like, I don't know, average height. She has on kind of what I'm wearing now. Crazy. She has on a navy vest with lots of like gold flowery embroidery and like a crest for the Feltrin military. And underneath you see a high neck white billowy shirt tucked into some like navy combat pants that also has the same embroidery. She has seafoam colored skin and darker seafoam hair, but at the roots you see it's kind of very like opal white, almost like she dyes her hair, but she forgot to dye her hair for a week or so. And then it's pulled back, half up, half down, clipped into an oyster kind of clip that's very obviously homemade with sequins and glitter and like puff paint or whatever. She has lots of piercings and all that kind of things. And at this moment, what I think she's doing, or what I see her doing, is kind of is there a window in the room? Question mark.
I would think you'll have a small window in the room.
Okay,
for sure.
so she'll be over by the window, and she'll be kind of like wiping her knives that she has. Yeah, just kind of staring off. Yeah, being quiet, not really doing much, just wiping her knives.
Great. Y'all hear a familiar rap on the door you heard not just the day before. Seems to be coming from the lower part of the door, but you hear that same rapping, knocking on the door.
Dolly jumps up and rushes over to the door and opens it.
As you open it up, you hear a voice coming from down the hallway that says, "God damn it, Sior, what have I told you about these visitors? One is enough!" At the same
cannot
time,
control Dolly. I'm sorry.
and starts coming down there, and you see as well this tiny little Harengon with like the biggest eyes you've ever seen. Harengon being a rabbit folk comes on in and just like looks up at you, Dolly, and like asks you to like come down, and she puts both of her hands on your face and just says, "Tell me everything is going to be okay. Tell me everything is going to be okay today."
The mother's comfort and nurture be with you.
Yeah.
Everything will be okay.
Did you hear that? Sure. What the hell? What? You got one visitor already. You don't need to have two in here.
I cannot control my roommate. She has a mind of her own, I fear.
And you see, this is like a tall, dragonborn, red, just kind of like staring down at you. Almost seems like steam coming out of his eyes. And what did I tell you about these? I told you yesterday, take these damn decorations down. They're not code.
They're mine.
Why do you have
sorry.
decorations in here? You're not even a soldier. How the hell what are you? I don't know how you convinced me to let her stay in here. I don't even know what the hell's going on here. Tell me again. Why should? What was your name again?
Dolly. Dolly Goodwood.
Why the hell should Dolly Goodwood stay here? Yeah.
Well, we're trying to protect our community, right? So I'm protecting our community.
Dick. What the hell did that bird just say to me?
Oh, that's just what he says. Don't take any offense.
Vaginal discharge.
I don't know. I think he has some pretty great ideas, in my opinion. I like that bird.
Anyway, I think this is your last day, Dolly. All right. Can you find somewhere else to go after this?
Yeah, I think I could. But the decorations need to stay. They really brighten up the place.
We'll see what's going on. I don't even know what the hell's going on. Sure, we're going to be moving out here in 10 minutes. Get ready for the day. All right. We get your regalia on. Ceremonial focus today. Don't need your normal fatigues. And we'll be heading out. Y'all good?
What about me? How can I help?
You see Lance looks up to you and is like, You're with me. No, you're working with me. Don't. I need you. I need you.
Yeah. I'm just gonna look over at Dolly and be like, give her a look that's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Dolly sort of like shrinks away and just nods wide-eyed.
All right, we'll see y'all freaking here in a little bit. And you see this Dragonborn heads out. Anything y'all do before you move out here in 10-ish minutes?
I am going to go over to the wall hanging that has all the seashells and stuff hanging off of it. And I'm just gonna place a kiss on my lips and then touch the middle kind of seashell that's hanging there.
Oh, that's a lovely ritual. What are you doing?
Just saying hello to an old friend.
What a lovely sentiment.
I can be nice sometimes.
I think you're nice all the time. I've only experienced you to be nice.
Well, okay.
You're my only friend, says Dick the Crow.
Did he just not cuss? Isn't he supposed to cuss?
I think he might be picking some language up.
Wow. What an intelligent guy.
Vaginal discharge.
Ah, there we go. There we go. Okay.
Dolly at this point is gonna start packing up like her letters, and she just has like one little satchel with nothing else, and packs it up and is ready to go.
Cool. And I'll start putting on the regalia and stuff.
Yep. Amazing. So, Dolly, you end up kind of sticking more with Lance as you head out. Sior, you meet up with the rest of your detail, and you march out really just behind Dolly. Like you're all moving in the same direction because Lance and Dolly, you're actually working the Silver Comet today when it comes to catering and serving food. And then Sior, your detail's been assigned to work the Silver Comet to help provide protection and just be part of the celebration itself. So as you're going, though, you see street vendors and games are in full swing. And as you walk, you see trudging along in front of you, also making your way to the Silver Comet, is a familiar-looking orc tavern owner with her deep green skin. She's dressed in this elegant, backless, black dress with a high slit. And you see, as she's going as well, like looking elegant, her daughter is dressed in a floral dress and is just like climbing and swinging on her left arm as they're walking down the street as well. And her right hand is resting on the back of a gnome who's carrying a case that jingles with various metals, glass tools, and instruments.
Drask!
Hello. Oh, sorry, that's not the voice. Hello there. How are my sweeties this morning?
We're doing so well. How are you? You look gorgeous.
Only for special occasions do I put on this dress. But look here, and she points to Sesk, her daughter. Stops for a moment, like kind of like flattens out her dress, and she says, "I have a dress on."
You look beautiful.
Really?
And Dolly's gonna like hold out her hands to see if she wants a hug.
You see she puts one hand in, then she looks behind and sees Sior, and also like the kid waves at Sior as well in the back. Hi, Sior.
I'm just gonna look very awkward and just be like,
Gotcha. And she puts just both hands in yours, Dolly, and just starts kind of, she doesn't quite get the hug, but just starts swinging them back and forth. Do you want to climb on Mommy too?
Yes. Do you think she'd let me?
You have to ask her. Consent is important. And then she lets go, and she goes and starts climbing on her mom's arm again, not really realizing fully what she said to you. So
Dolly is going to start to climb on Drask as well.
Hello, don't mess up my dress there. What are you doing?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And you see the Harangon Lance next to you says, Friend, you're on your way to the Silver Comet. You see Fryn, who is this gnome that y'all had to liberate from his massive debt from Dresk Tavern not long ago, paying Dresk by ensuring they can get on the Silver Comet. Fryn he looks sleepy as he's saying this, and he says, well, I had a little bit of a persuasion, but good morning to all of you. Are we ready for an amazing flight today?
Yes.
am I over there? Sorry. Am I
You're
wasn't
close
sure
enough
if-
to where like I'm having like that's why I was like she's kind of waving at you. You're close enough. You're walking with each other as you're going along.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'll just I'll just again be kind of awkward and just do like a 2 thumbs up kind of thing.
Amazing. Like good to see you, Shore. Thank y'all for letting me out of that tavern. This is getting a little cramped in there.
It's the least we could do.
I guess so. All right. Well, let's just keep on going. And you see Dresk at this point says, "Well, now that you got you where you need to go, or who's going to get you where you need to go, we're gonna go grab a little bit of breakfast before meeting y'all on the Silver Comet. But we'll see y'all shortly.
Enjoy.
We'll do.
See you there.
So, y'all two now arrive at the airfield, and you see that all throughout, you're probably getting here a little earlier than there are other cast members here. You see teams of enchanters, catering crews, and soldiers arriving on their respective ships. You get the sense that this space is waking up as you look around as well. And even as you say that, you see a dark-skinned dwarf with a bald head, a deep braided beard, already wearing the cerulean uniforms of the catering crew that y'all helped procure yesterday, who hands mugs of coffee to you, Dolly, and Lance. And you see he has one himself too, and then realizes that Sior's kind of walking with y'all, and so then hands it over to Sior as well. And you know this to be Korgal, and he says, he says, yeah, here you two go, Lance. Lance, you're looking lovely today as ever. And Dolly, good to see you as well too, friend. Dolly, I got you as a tray passer today for the event. Nice and simple, and you can feel free to go on board and get your uniform on. And then behind him, standing behind him, hard to see, you see a tiny little halfling, also wearing regalia, and they step out behind as well and like, oh, well, hello there, troops. Welcome aboard. I see some of my regulars here. I'm guessing the rest of you here, talking to the military now, are my additional security. Well, that's great. Feel free to roam around, get a lay of the land. Well, wait 1 second there, and points to you, Sior. You're a little disheveled. I'm going to need you to fix your fatigues before coming on my ship, Missy.
I'm sorry. Fix? What's wrong with what I've got?
You're a little untucked there, a little messy. I see you got a little that little clip on the back of your hair. There's not quite up to what we need here in the military.
Oh, that stays on, I'm afraid. It's attached to my head, you see, so it stays on.
Make a deception check.
I'm not using that die because that one sucked. Okay. Ooh. Math. What is that? 22.
Amazing. Well, I don't want to discriminate by any means. Thank you for pointing that out to me, miss. I don't know what happened to that be a part of your head, but I won't argue or point it out anymore. Go ahead, on board. I don't suppose you have any experience working a skyship like this?
Do I? No, I don't, I'm afraid. I'm just gonna just look very annoyed while I guess I'm tucking stuff in and just kind of fixing everything.
Okay, oh yeah, well then we'll get you on security detail, no problem at all. All right, everybody, come on board. And so y'all come on board. Anything else y'all want to do at this time as you hop on the ship as you see the crowds are now starting to form as well?
Dolly is full on skipping.
Okay.
I'm just gonna look at Dolly and just, again, look very annoyed and roll my eyes. With some fondness, I would say, but not a lot.
Amazing. All right, so with that, then we will go to the last member who has not arrived yet at the ship, which calls for more music changing. All about the ambiance here. All right. In a walled 2-story home near the center of the city, we peer through the window to see attendants buzzing around to get the final member of this family of 3 ready. 2 of them watch on as this happens. One is dressed in formal ceremonial military garb, suit-like with a high collar and a pearly white, Baggyish pants, flared sleeves with intricate gold buttons spread throughout, and a dark, heavy cape that hangs low. His partner wears a dark blue, long, flowing gown with complementary pearly white accents and simple jewelry. And you can see she's a bit more worried about this last person, while he looks more annoyed. So go ahead and tell us, who are they looking at right now, Ryan? What do you look like? Give us a general vibe of who you are and what's going on.
So, I think Aedrid is like, so these attendants are like rushing around him, trying to get him ready.
Yeah, they're like literally buttoning up, like getting your pants on, like hoisting them up.
Yeah. So, the outfit that they're putting on him is like a long black and silver like tailcoat, with like a purplish like paisley vest, and a poet's shirt, like one of those like flowy white shirts with like a bit of a coif underneath all of that. He's in pretty form-fitting like black trousers, and he has these black boots that come up to his thigh. And I would say, just a question, are these attendants, did they come with us from Skansa?
I'd say maybe one or two did, but most are from here.
Okay, so at this moment, Aedrid looks like an elven man, about very similar to his regular age, 21 years old, very well kept, and he has a like ceremonial like rapier at his side, and he just like kind of rolls his eyes at his parents.
And as you do that, your father speaks up first, and he says, "Perhaps if you took apprenticeship, you'd learn a bit more about time management."
You're saying that you would like me to take apprenticeship in this city?
Where else would you take an apprenticeship? You need to learn, you need to grow, you need to make connections, you need to contribute to society.
Perhaps I would be more motivated if we were back in Skansa with Astrid.
Astrid is working for the family as well. We're not going to get in this conversation again. But you know one thing, and as almost like kind of sensing the tension building, one of these servants, this salt and pepper, half-orc, well-pressed uniform, he says, "Sirs and madam, your chariot is here to take..." I can't switch accents here. "Sirs and madam, your chariot is here to take you to your destination." And he kind of walks over to you, Aedrid. He kind of straightens up one of your sleeves, and you feel something drop into your pocket as he does this. Your father gestures for you and your mother to exit. Like, you see that kind of reset worked. And you all come to a black chariot outside, pulled by two stark white horses.
Before we step in, he'll kind of like pull his coat like tight and kind of adjust his posture a little bit. And he'll say, "This is one of the last galas I go to for any of you. You've paraded me around too much." And he steps onto the carriage.
You see, if you go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Cool. 9.
9, you don't notice anything.
Great. Love that.
You see, as you get in as well, your parents sit on the opposite, like you're on one side of this chariot, your parents on the other one, and you start getting in, windows open, and as you get in, the gate opens at the surrounding wall for you all to ride out. Outside, you see, strangely, some of your house's servants have gathered around one of the walls as you start moving out.
Am I correct in assuming that the celebration of this day is for the war between Skansa and Feltrand? Is that right?
Correct, yeah.
Is anyone else in the carriage with us?
No.
I will shift back into my natural form for a moment.
Go and describe what that looks like.
So the elven, like kind of darker elven skin shifts into like a completely pearl white, that as the light catches it, it kind of like shimmers like a pearl would. His hair fully goes like white, almost translucent, and is like long and hangs down about shoulder length. And his eyes are completely foggy white. And he leans forward quietly and says, "Do you really expect me to celebrate the day of our nation's fall? You ask this of me?"
Yeah. What are you doing? And your mom like goes to like close the blinds, and your father says, if you think that this day is about the defeat of us, then you have not paid attention to history at all. But that's not what's important now. We're not parading you around. We're giving you a future by coming here. That's what you've never understood. It's not about the past. It's about the future. But
Sounds like someone who has become assimilated into your oppressors.
Sounds like my son has his head up his own ass always. And you see your mom now acts as like the the peacekeeper here. And she says, "And we heard you were getting quite close to the tire knock girl at the party last night. What was her name?"
He hesitates for a moment, and then kind of like reasserts his posture, and he says, "I don't recall."
And you don't recall? Well, she seemed quite nice. We saw her from a distance and in passing. And your dad speaks up. It's like, "What are your thoughts on a marriage with her?"
What are your thoughts on keeping contact with your son?
I don't. You're with us. I don't know where you would go. You think you can survive on your own out there? You've had
I know
a
that
silver
I can
spoon in
survive
your
on my
mouth
own.
your entire life. You don't study. You don't get an apprenticeship. You don't do anything other than sleep all day and practice swinging your sword around. And I mean that in two different ways. So what are you going to do out there on your own?
Father, if you continue to press me, one of your colleagues may end up in the pool of their own blood. I was close enough to the light at the gala. I simply was not given the chance.
Well, I'm glad you would ruin this for us and your whole family as well as your country if you did something like that. Go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh shit, okay.
Bro!
That is a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. You and your family slam to one side as apparently you hear one of the back wheels has come off of your carriage. And you hear the driver crying out, trying to calm the horses. And your dad says, "What the hell is that?" And you see he kind of opens up the door and tries, and he says, "Fix your face." And he gets out and he looks at the back wheel. Are you staying in the carriage or are you getting out as well?
I will stay in the carriage for a moment and let my skin like tessellate with moonlight back into the more well-kempt elven man, and I will step out.
Great. So as you step out, you see the back wheel has come off of your carriage. It looks like the bolts are not too far behind. You see at the same time, too, a few people have showed up during this. You see like some of the city guards show up, really just to make sure like everything's okay. What do you do as you step outside?
As he steps out, he kind of like changes his posture again, and like gets a little light smile on his face, and he steps down the little stairs of the carriage and says, "What in the God's name has happened?"
You see the driver's like, sorry, sir. Looks like one of the wheels came off. We'll see what we can do to get it fixed up quickly.
How quickly?
As fast as we can. And you see at the same time too, a rickshaw of a monk wearing red robes comes up. And you see he calls for some people nearby, and he looks at you and says, "Hello there. Are you able to lift this up, or can you fasten the wheel back on as we hold this up?"
I don't see how that is my responsibility.
And you see, not even phasing him, she starts trying to lift up the wheel as then other people come in to try to put it back on carefully. And then you see as it's on, still straining, they tighten up the wheel to try to put it back on. Go ahead and make a perception check. Are you watching on as this is happening, I assume? Like watching them do it, or
Yeah.
what are you doing? Yeah, make a perception check for me.
No.
No?
3.
Okay, great. Yeah. What's going on in your mind then as all this is going on?
I think right now what's going on in his mind is, man, if this carriage is really fucked up, maybe I don't have to go to this thing.
Yeah.
But he's still keeping up the appearance of like someone who's like in a hurry.
Yeah, gotcha. So as they're lifting it up and they fasten it back on, you see, hold on one more second, and tries to spin the wheel, like both sides go, shakes it a bit, seems to be solid back on. Weird as hell. Looks like the bolts were loose on there. We'll be checking for that next time we head out. Sorry, sir. And your father says, it happens. No worries at all. We're a little banged up inside, but that's not what this day is about.
Do I believe him?
Make an insight check.
Oh my gosh, I'm rolling past. That's a 10.
10? So kind of a basic understanding of your father. It's hard to know like what his intention is behind this. Like you know him to be a good politician. So where like you
Oh, I'm sorry. I should have clarified. I'm interested in if the bolts actually were loose.
Oh.
And he, like if that guy's telling the truth about what happened to the carriage.
Gotcha. Let me roll for him. Let me see what he gets. Yeah. So you don't know why he would lie about it.
Okay.
The bolts are loose. The bolts are back on. You saw him like test it again, and so like you're pretty confident that everything's good now.
Okay. I'll turn back to the driver and just say, "Are we ready to go?"
Yes, sir.
Thank you. And I'll step back into the carriage.
You step back in. You see your mom is like kind of like rubbing her head, and you see that there's like a slight like mark, like a little bit of blood gathered on her forehead, and she just is kind of like rubbing it, kind of like doing that.
He'll take like a handkerchief out or something and like raise it out to her.
Thank you, my son. She kind of wets it in her mouth and then brushes it. Is everything okay out there now?
As well as it could be, given the nature of the day.
Okay.
Do you honestly think we should be here?
We are here. I don't know if you understand that. Like, it's not about should. It's not about what could be. It's the fact that we are here.
I think perhaps you both are not looking large enough to what could be.
And you, like I said, are not looking now at what's in front of you and how that might affect what could be.
We do not have to have this conversation. There's no progress.
And as you say that, there's no more conversation between you and your parents. It's very quiet for you. At this point, they have gone to just talking with one another about all the potentialities of like who might be on the Silver Comet today. Like, what are the potential avenues to speak about? Till eventually, yeah, go ahead.
Can he just very nonchalantly listen to if Feynora will be on the ship?
So the make a and you're overhearing it. They don't know who's going to be on the ship. Like they're literally like running scenarios. Like, okay, if this person is here, if this person is here, is this person is here. You do hear them mention like Feynora, but then like as they get to that, like they like side eye you, and then they get really quiet, and then they start talking about somebody else.
Okay, he's definitely trying to pretend that he like does not listen to it at all.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so it's not long until after you and your family make it to the airfield and join the queue to get on board. And you see now the entire crew here, and you hear the music has picked up as well off in the distance, or on it. Let me move my notes here around. What's y'all's...
Can I ask a quick question?
Yeah, go ahead.
I realize I did not describe what Feynora looks like at all.
Go ahead and do that
Do
while
you
I'm...
care?
Yeah, my
Does
bad
that
for not
matter?
pointing that out. So I'll go ahead and get the next thing ready. But yeah, please describe what you look like.
She's a half elf. Her ears are pointed. She's tall, probably about 5'10". She has a very serious face, like dark eyes, dark eyebrows, but she has sort of medium to dark skin. I would say she's darker than me. But she has light hair, almost white, sort of silvered to white, and it's braided in a very neat, very sort of functional braid off her face. She has no jewelry except for you can see the chain of a necklace, but the actual sort of amulet on the necklace is hidden underneath her clothing. She's wearing a like white shirt underneath her armor, but she's very heavily armored with this sort of heavy cloak and the new shield. She has, well, you wouldn't be able to see it, so I won't describe it. Well, she has a tattoo, but it's not like visible. And yeah, she's sort of tall. She's very fit, and very serious. It's not a smiley face that she's got. Yeah, I just realized I hadn't done any sort of what she.
No, that was perfect. I'm so glad you paused us to do that as well. So thank you so much. So what do y'all do in the queue? So you're all in the queue now, except for Dolly and Sior. But y'all describe it as well as like as you're getting ready, as you're waiting in the queue. What are y'all doing? What's your kind of vibe as you're about to board the Silver Comet, or about to take off and serve in the Silver Comet?
I think Adrid is like kind of getting himself into character, putting like white gloves on, making sure that his crescent amulet is like tucked in to his shirt, and if he could nonchalantly check for what was dropped in his pocket.
Yeah, you see a note was left for you. Do you take a chance to read it right now?
Does it seem like I have a lot of eyes on me, or would it seem pretty normal to just take something out and read it?
Make a sleight of hand or a stealth check to look at it.
Dude. 9.
9. I'll roll for your parents to see if they notice you. Look at it.
All right.
I'm not going to tell you if they notice it or not. So you see the note, and I already left your notes. My bad.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Let's see here. Where is my note, y'all? I know I had the note here. I might just make it off the top of my head. Yeah, let's do this.
Can I blow my nose quickly while you're doing that?
We'll allow it.
Thank you, guys.
Awesome. It says, you belong where you want to belong.
Okay. Interesting.
So yeah, go ahead and describe. So you went to look at this note as you're waiting in line, kind of chilling. You fixed yourself. Dolly, what are you doing on the ship right now that you're in your uniform? What's your persona like? Like, how are you presenting yourself? How are you getting ready for people to board?
Dolly is like giddy. She is so excited, and any opportunity that she can, if she sees anyone struggling, if she feels like she has an opportunity to help, she is the first person who volunteers. She is eager and just feels like she's ready to serve and very excited to witness everything that's going on.
Amazing. All right, how's Sior preparing for this and her regalia?
She is kind of on the edges of things. Like, she's willing to do her job, but she doesn't want to be one of the front runners kind of leading. So she's trying to just kind of stay back and kind of get her bearings and look around. Probably looking around for if there's anybody maybe noticing her or just kind of whatever. She's just trying to stay kind of to herself. Yeah, like she looks, she's working, but she doesn't really want you to know that she's working. You know what I mean? So
yeah, go ahead and make an insight check to kind of prepare as we move into the people getting on the ship about people noticing you.
That's a 10.
Okay. Sounds good. All right, Luna, what is Delphira? How is she? You can also tell us what you look like now as you're waiting in line too. The whole audience has been waiting for this moment, so please tell us.
Yes.
The big reveal. Okay, so first we have to talk about the dress. This dress is like a very deep, rich, dark purple. It is tight on the top. We've got a sweetheart neckline and these little cap sleeves with little circles and little charms hanging down. Corset, obviously. The corset is embroidered with gold thread, tiny little stars everywhere all over it. And then the skirt like flows out, and anywhere that there's not embroidery, there are these gold and silver threads that have been woven into the fabric so that every movement makes it look like it's shimmering. She has very deep, warm brown skin and has dusted it with gold powder. And her hair is in long black twists that are like tied up with a hairpin, and it's got like a spill of pearls just kind of dangling off to one side. She has a book out in one hand and is trying to look unaffected, right? A dress this big, you know it's got pockets and they're full of books. So it's just like a small little romance novel. She's read it 1,000 times, but she is looking interested, playing indifferent, checking around her to see who is here and if the person that she expects to be here is anywhere nearby. And also looking for Brix, just in case.
Mm-hmm. Thank goodness Delphira is a wizard, not a bard, because we'd all be undone. The whole world would be undone.
That's so true.
Come on.
Yeah.
I'm sold.
I should mention she is the girl is plush, right? She is not an adventurer. It is the most hourglass. Let's call it a weak glass. Okay, like the waist is snatched. Everything else, it's soft on soft on soft.
Period.
Amazing.
I'm so obsessed. Yeah.
Mm-hmm, for sure.
I would love to have this dress.
Go ahead and make a perception check with advantage for all that fantastic detail and description in your dress.
Ooh, perception. Hey, that's good. That's a 19.
19. So at this point, you do not see who you're looking for, but you know where Brix was in the other ship, and you see that she already has like some food in her mouth. It's like popped up to see if you notice her. The moment you notice her, she pops back down to go eat. All right. Then lastly, Delphira, tell us what. Fenora, my bad. Tell us what is going on with you as you wait in line.
Can I ask a question?
Of course.
Was the gala last night?
Yep.
Okay. So, similarly to Aedred, she's sort of prepared her outward public persona. There is sort of, as much as she can, her face is quite, she tries not to show anything. So there's not really a look of concern, but there's also, she doesn't look particularly welcoming. She has a very serious, quite stoic expression. Her father's holding onto her arm, and the other arm under her cloak is resting on the hilt of her sword. She is trying not to obviously be looking around, trying not to obviously be looking for Aedred, but is sort of standing there trying to see who's around. She is slightly shaken from the events of yesterday, and more so from the sort of strange events of this morning, especially her mother's sort of leading her to this space and to a place that answers a lot of her, or begins to answer a lot of her questions, and slightly off kilter from the sentimentality and really obvious emotion from her usually quite sort of detached father. But all of that she's trying to sort of contain in order to be upright and aware of what's going on around her.
Great. So for the things you're looking for, go ahead and make a perception check, and I'll leave it up to you. This is not a trick question. With all that stuff in your weight, right, like in your head right now, the weightiness, would you say that would be with disadvantage as you're trying so hard to like not process what's going on, be in the moment, but try to look like you're not in the moment? Do you?
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet. So go ahead and make the.
I mean,
Go ahead. Yeah.
I rolled a 6.
Cool. Is that roll again just to see if it's even lower?
Oh God! Don't say that. I rolled an 18 for the second one.
So it makes it that much hurtful. So in that
That's
moment,
fine.
like you,
She's used to suffering.
you almost have like a tunnel vision of like, okay, like I'm looking around, but I got to stay focused on what's going on. Eventually, you all make your way on board. You start working on board. You start serving. You notice that there's food going around on these trays. There's grilled meats, fresh veggies, pastries, designed as like little replicas of the Silver Comet. There's various types of rum cocktails being served. The specialty with Fryn is that he creates this magical ice that burns in random colors but doesn't actually burn you. So there's all these different colors going around in people's drinks. You see there's a band playing for Adrid and Fenora. You realize that it's the same band you saw last night, which is called the Flying Rings, with a Tabaxi Kenku and 2 twin Goliaths. You see there's 2 gambling games going on board, and Fenora, your dad's like, well, I think I better go find a seat because it's so hard to stand up. And you see he has the easiest time and goes sits down at one of these gambling tables. And you see there's various people in attendance here. Like you see Dresk, you see Sesk, you see, again, Fryn is here. There are members of the council walking around. There's just various other individuals. There's lizard folks. There's gnomes, elves. There's lion folk. There's fairies flying around. Half elves. There's orcs. There's like a whole number of people. You imagine that they're probably on this ship. So with that, where do you feel like each of you would go? And feel free to just kind of speak up, and we'll resolve it that way.
Have Adrid and I spotted each other?
Yeah, that's my question too.
Are we aware
With your
that
6,
the other is
we're gonna
there?
say you do not. Adrid, you haven't rolled a perception check, yo. So go ahead and tell.
Yo.
You haven't rolled a perception check, yo.
Guys, I can't make it up. I got a 1.
Oh my god.
Oh my God!
So you all have not noticed one another at all, but I'm gonna see if.
You're both just like so self-obsessed that you don't notice what's her.
Okay, but I'm gonna see if Adrid's parents noticed Fenora's here. Okay, I'm not gonna tell you what I rolled. All right. So y'all have not noticed each other, but so what is everybody doing? Where do you? So there's food, there's drinks, there's people to talk to, there's games, there's areas for you to go hide and read a book. Just go ahead and tell me what you want to do.
Adrid's gambling.
Okay, great, awesome. I have
Is
mechanics
Delight
for that
here?
later. With your roll of 6, you have no clue. So.
So I'm up against a wall. Like I have as of yesterday, but this time really intentionally found a corner.
Oh, yeah. Which is
hand
hard
is
on
still
a
on the
ship
sword.
because you're still exposed everywhere you go out of the sides.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am gonna try to stay at least within eyesight of Dolly, just to keep still kind of on, the edges and watching, but I want to keep an eye on Dolly.
Great.
And that's really difficult because she is just running around like serving people and just having the time of her life. And every time she serves something, she's chatting them up and telling them they look amazing and just like working the room.
Yeah. Every now and then your boss, the dwarf, has to be like, all right, Dolly, come on, let's go to the next person now, and kind of like gently like encourages you to keep on serving more food and people. And then lastly, Delphira, I assume you're also serving people, but in a different way. So go ahead and tell us what you're doing.
Oh wait. I think Delphira probably grabbed like the biggest plate that she could find and just got like a little bit of everything, a drink, and is now like back in the corner, fully like dress floofed out around her, snack tray, reading book.
Perfect. Amazing.
Does
Oh, go ahead.
you said the band has a tabaxi in it?
Mm-hmm.
What? Say more about that.
It's this tabaxi that you've never seen before, I would think. I don't know
Okay.
if they kind of travel around. It's a male named Rings. You see, there's a standing bass that he's playing on, as well as he seems to be the lead singer of this band.
Wow. Okay.
Amazing.
Just curious.
So as people are getting situated and you're getting to that point where you're like, well, why haven't we taken off yet? You see the captain and he says, well, hello there, everybody. Let's all gather around here. Cause applause the games there, band. Can you please keep it down? We're about to gather, lift the plank. The plank has been pulled up. So, all right. So my name is Captain Jobel River Cobble. Yes, thank you. That's nice I appreciate the applause. Now, my great-great-grandma was actually the captain of this ship way back when. Well, not this actual ship, but this is a replica of the original Silver Comet, which partook in the war all those years ago. Obviously, arcane technology has improved over the last century. For example, there's some more important security measures that have been put into place that they didn't have back then that I will be going over here today. Because back in the old days, if your ship went down, you prayed to Pelor for it to be a quick death. You don't want to be landing on some broken legs and dying slowly like my great-great-grandmother. But that wasn't from a ship going down. So anyways, so if the ship starts to lose altitude immediately, we have what's called a feathered nexus, all right, which will basically cast a transmutation spell that makes you fall like a feather on anyone within 60 feet of itself, all right? And that's if it starts falling at a terminal velocity. So no go jumping off because we got nothing for that. Last year some kid heard me say that we'd taken off when I was talking about the feather nexus. He jumped down, and next thing I know, we have a wizard trying to fly after him to try to catch him. His parents were not happy. So we're given the instructions now, so no jumping off the ship. There's also a few float boats you can see attached to the sides over there, which are another means if people need an emergency to get down, they can take those down as well. Obviously, as you saw this morning, we got a storm system building over across port. That's to your left for those unfamiliar with the terminology. Off to the east, not uncommon for this time of year, but we'll be monitoring, and if that picks up anymore or gets any closer, which I don't think it will, we'll just be landing before it becomes a concern. So that's all I got to say. Let's go ahead and take off here. And you see, all right, strike up the band back again. Am I right, everybody? And it's just silent afterwards, as it was silent here. But anyways, you see him like pull a few levers behind the wheel, and your stomach slightly jolt as this fleet of skyships takes off. Immediately, all of you drifting in perfect formation. You see off in the distance of the other ships, their banners ripple in the warm winds, and the crowds that had gathered cheer from below on towers and bridges, which quickly turn into these, like, you can hear the ahs and oohs down below and bigger cheers when all the enchantments on the ships commence. You look out to see the other ships and see below as well, for those of y'all that don't have a sense of vertigo, and you look out to see illusions of fires and sparkles and butterflies and flowers and shooting stars and more are just streaming off the ships, cascading to the masses below, but disappearing before reaching the ground. And so you've all gone to your own specific locations here serving. Let's go ahead and anybody else gonna be gambling while this is going on? Even like Dolly and Sior, if y'all want to like sneak away, you're welcome to try to risk that if you want to.
No.
Sally would never.
All right, we'll resolve one game. So the game is called either Lush or Triune. Lush, you've seen it before. You roll 2d6. If you roll 7 or 12, you win. But if you don't roll a 7 or a 12, you can double your bet and add 1d6 to that total to see if you hit a 7 or a 12. There's also one called Triune, where you roll a d6, and the dealer also rolls 3d6. If your number matches the dealer, depending on how many match, you'll get a certain a payout based on that.
I will play the second one. Triune?
Triune, yeah.
Yeah. That one.
Awesome. You sit down to, you see it's a lizard folk who's the dealer here, so he starts dealing out cards. You see he's very quiet. You're next to a gnome, a couple of gnomes who are here with you as well. You see an older human gentleman here too, as well as the lion folk. And he says, the lizard folk says, "What's your bet?"
What is the minimum buy-in?
1 gold today.
I'll do 2 gold.
All right, and he starts gathering everybody's money, putting it, kind of sliding it close, putting it in front of them. All right, go ahead and flip your card, which means roll a d6. Maybe. Hey, what'd you get?
2.
2?
It's a D6, Addison. It's not that bad.
The numbers are numbers are. He flips his cards. It's a 3, 5, and a 6. So he's like, sorry, no win today. And so starts. Dude, your luck right now is hilarious. Not gonna lie.
He's pissed.
So that goes there. Let's jump around now to our other members here. Anything else is going on now that you're up in the air? Anybody peering over the edge? Dolly still talking to people. Sior still kind of watching what Dolly is doing. Fenora, Delphira, what are y'all doing now that you've taken off?
I think that I've sort of spotted my father sort of very agilely made his way to the gambling. I think Fenora is not at all interested in gambling today.
Okay.
So I think that she's sort of seen that he's situated. We're off the ground. So I think I'm looking out, sort of at the kind of angle where you can see out, but there's still an awareness of what's going on the ship. And I think she's just taking a minute to kind of try and make sense of all of the feelings that she's feeling this morning. And in that looking out, hopefully trying to spot Airdred, knowing that he's probably at the gambling table near where her father probably is. But just sort of taking a minute to go, wow, that a lot of things have happened, a lot of feelings have happened, and this day for her has become complicated in ways it wasn't as when she was a child. Sort of this anniversary feels a lot more complicated this year than it has before.
As you look out, a figure steps in front of you holding a drink, who rolled an 18 on his perception check, and he says, "Please share a drink with me."
Oh no. She wants to say no, but civility and general politeness wins out. And so she accepts the drink.
It's not.
Doesn't drink it, but accepts it.
It's not what you think. I'm happily married. You're a member of the Taranok family, yes?
I am. Lovely to meet you. What's your name, sir?
Raifon is my name. And you are, I believe, Fenora, yes.
Yes.
Great. Forgive me for being so forward. I like to be direct, but I would like to arrange a marriage between you and my son.
Can I roll a perception, like an insight on him?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I get a sense of like
go ahead
what
and roll an insight. And I am the father of Eadred, by the way. You I believe you met him yesterday.
I don't know if she wants to admit that she met him yesterday.
You're welcome.
Am I rolling insight or perception?
Insight if you're trying to read him, yeah.
She crit again. It's this dice. It's this dice.
It's the cunty
this
pink
dice is like my precious dice.
Thank God.
So adding my insights, 22.
I mean, you're reading him spot on. Like he knows exactly. He knows that you met his son yesterday. Like he knows what's going on here. And inside as well, you know this is a genuine request from him. Like this is kind of like isn't a big deal for him to be asking this. And so he just. Yeah, so he's here to try to see if you want to... Yeah, go ahead.
Can I clarify? You said he knows what's going... Like,
He knows.
How much does he know
all he
about
knows,
yesterday?
like,
He knows that we interacted.
Yeah, he saw you and Aedrid like running around yesterday. He's heard stories about like I mean, people gossip at these things like so they probably were like
Yeah.
Did you know that like Aedrid and Fenora like were running like what were they doing off in the maze yesterday? Like the shrub the hedge maze. And says.
Yeah.
I've never seen him take to anybody really. So it seems like a good arrangement between two prestigious families here. I mean, is that typically a conversation that I'd have with you, or would I have it with your father? He kind of nods over there. It's like, what would they do to speak to your mother?
I'm taken aback by the suggestion. It was lovely to meet Aedrid for the first time yesterday.
Yes.
This would be a conversation probably best had with my parents.
He starts to move away as you and then as you say he like pauses because he realizes you're going to say something more. As in like he was going to go walk towards your father. Like he wasn't trying to be rude. Like I think he was like going to try to bring you with him.
I think the conversation would be best had in like sort of in Fenora's mind. She is going. They're going to marry me off eventually. Like she knows that this is probably coming for her at some point. Was not expecting there to be a conversation about marriage anytime soon, considering the recent events and expecting her parents would want to be smoothing over her sort of public perception before they start trying to make those connections. But in that is very curious about the connection that her and Aedrid had yesterday. And so doesn't want to be like, go away, but also in her mind is like, I don't want to marry anyone. So I think she sort of goes, it's a very kind offer, but not one that had crossed my mind at this moment.
Yes, so you're saying I need to speak to both your parents at the same time. Is that the custom?
I think that would probably be best.
All right, we'll arrange a time then for us, for me and my wife to speak with your parents.
Just a question: is Aedrid here today?
Yes, I believe he's playing at one of the Triumph game. I believe your father's at the table, actually right next to him. It's pretty interesting, am I right?
I think she does that really polite, awkward laugh that you do when like an older man is being really weird, and you're like. I don't want to sort of threaten his sense of masculinity and self-perception by being like, go away. But also she knows that this is a public event and her parents are public figures. So she sort of gives that sort of tittering, like, and goes to try and disengage from the interaction and wants to go straight over to Aedrid and go, what the heck is your dad doing?
You and your father, as you walk away, he like tries to get one more conversation in. Like, you know, like people do that, like, you know, like you're like, so he's like, you and your father seem close. I saw y'all as you were arriving. You seemed to enjoy one another.
I suppose that's all that you can hope for with a relationship with your parents.
Hope for what?
Well, wouldn't you expect one to be close with their parents?
Being a parent is hard.
I can imagine.
You know, you want to build your own legacy. You want your child to be empowered to build their legacy, and you just feel like you're forever balancing the two. And maybe that's the wrong mindset.
I think she's not making eye contact, and she's doing that thing where you try and give as minimal conversational meat as possible to try and disengage from this.
I'm sorry, I've held you up long enough. Thank you for your time. I know we hope to see you soon.
Oh, you're so welcome. It was lovely to meet you.
Yeah. Awesome. So then you go off to find Aedrid? Or did that make you not
I want to go
find
directly
Aedrid?
to him, but I bet you his father would just be watching where I'm going. And so at least now I know that he's here and gambling to make a plan to find him, but not while like his father's probably waiting for me to do exactly that.
Yeah. Sounds good.
What happened at this gala last night?
Right?
You all think it was real saucy. Unfortunately, we will see.
It sounds incredibly saucy.
Delphira, as you're reading, somebody comes up next to you and says, pardon me, you are the Aerathis representative this quarter for Terrian Textiles, correct? And you see this silver dragonborn, non-binary, wearing the garments of a priestess of Aerathis, seems to be like middle-aged, is speaking to you. And you also know to be the council member of trades and guilds.
Ooh, okay. So I will stand.
No, you can stay there.
No, it's fine. It's fine. How can I help you?
You are an employee of theirs, correct?
In a way.
I kind of need to know one way or the other.
Sure,
Okay,
yes.
all right.
Let's go with yes.
Great. Fantastic merchants. This may sound odd, but I was given, I don't know if it's an order or what, as I was heading out this morning. I didn't have time to hand it off to one of my runners, so I just tucked it in my cloak for now. I'm not sure what order it is, but it is addressed to Terrian Textiles. Might I present it to you currently?
Absolutely, and I'll take it.
Okay, thank you. And you see, as you take it, there's a wax seal on the back that kind of catches you off guard. It's the seal of the observatory library in your home city of Umuzi.
Okay. All right. I think on seeing this, Delphira pauses for a beat and she has to just take a little breath, like steel herself before cracking it. And she tries not to break the wax. She tries to peel it away.
Make a sleight of hand check.
Good luck, me. Am I good at sleight of hand? Seems like no. Oh, I have a +2. That's a 9.
9. You crack the seal, unfortunately, as you're doing it. But as you crack the seal, you see tucked inside of it is a folded paper with burnt edges inside.
What does it say?
So you open.
Oh, wait. Is the guy still standing there?
Say what?
Is that guy still standing there?
Yeah, he's standing.
Or that person.
They're standing there. They're like, what is it? What is the order? You see, they're kind of curious about what's going on.
It's from a regular. I'll have to transcribe it and, make sure we have everything. Was there anything else delivered to you by mistake?
No, I just am curious about how such proficient businesses work, but I can step away if you need some privacy.
Sure, but I'm happy to... How tall did you say this person is?
They're probably like 6'5".
Ooh. Okay.
You're killing me, fam. This is incredible.
You're so me-coded. That's so funny.
I would be so happy to walk you through how we handle everything later.
Make a persuasion check to see if they're sensing what's going on here.
Wow, 17. We do still have a -1.
Amazing.
This is the die for me.
All right then. Perhaps I'll see you after the event today, and we'll work out some business. And steps away.
Work out some business. Okay. Whatever you want to call it. Okay. So in this corner, are there a lot of other people around me? Do I feel like I have enough privacy?
Your reading vibe has cast everybody away from this area.
Fantastic. All right. I'm going to flump back down and read it.
As you read it, it says, I hope you didn't read it. Does that make you culpable? Or will it be merely a coincidence? K. As in, that's who signed it. Okay.
It just ends with K.
Okay.
Full stop.
So then we'll pick back up here these last 20 to 30 minutes where we just last saw Delphira read a note that said, "I hope you didn't read it. Does that make you culpable, or will it be merely a coincidence?" Signed K. So tell us, if you want, what is going on in your head right now as you read that? As this music is going on around you.
There is just a flash. If anyone were looking at her, just like happened to catch her in this moment, there would just be this flash of like anger. Like up to this point, she's been very like cheerful, bubbly, like, oh my gosh. This note has her heated. Like, how dare you?
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting up and I want to go back and find that dragonborn and just kind of slip my arm through theirs and say,
Oh, hi.
thank you so much for the delivery a moment ago. I have a few questions if you don't mind.
Yes. What is it that I can do for you?
And I'm gonna pull them away from other people and just say, so when did you receive this? Who brought it to you? Tell me. I'm trying very hard not to say, tell me everything you know right now.
It arrived by a missive boat this morning, so I'm not sure who delivered it, but it had a seal. It seemed addressed properly for a business undertaking. Your family tends to get many orders here in the city, and you see as they say this, they kind of gesture around the party, and you realize how many people are likely wearing the fabrics created by your family. So, it was nothing of note or mention to me. It just seemed like another order of somebody trying to find its right way into your family's business dealings.
Got it. Thank you so much. I really just wanted to make sure that we didn't miss anything else, seeing as it was dropped off to you instead of me. I just don't want to inconvenience.
No trouble at all. I'm sure we'll be in touch very soon. And you see they lingered on the word touch a little bit longer than normal.
Hey. I am also sure, and I kind of give a little arm squeeze, and then slip away. Okay. Tell me if I'm like totally off base. The captain mentioned a feathered nexus. That sounds like a whole lot of magic on this ship in one spot. Is that something that I could go find?
You don't know where it is, so you can go ahead and make an investigation check and start looking around if you want.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay.
Ooh. Investigation. Oh, okay. That is a dirty 20.
Dirty 20? Yeah, so you kind of ask some of the guards around there, and they happily point you to where the nexus is kind of located. Like, they actually kind of like stomp their feet in that it's located underneath one of these panels. But you see they lift up the panel, and you see the feathered nexus that seems to be fully, it looks like a large chest with like all these various runes tied into it, like kind of tucked away in here. And they say like, yeah, there it is. But there doesn't seem any, no tampering with it with that high investigation check or anything.
I just don't understand. And she's like muttering to herself. I just don't understand how they help me know where I am. How did she get this? How did she know it was?
And as you walk back upstairs, muttering to yourself, we'll now cut over to Sior as a pale elf walks up to you, dressed in wizard's regalia, as well as also the vestments of a council member. And so you see a pale elf presenting as female to you, looks kind of older on the elfish side, and they say, "I do believe you seem to be out of place here."
I have a uniform on, don't I? I think I fit right in.
Something is askew, namely that mollusk of a hair clip you got going on there.
It's attached to my head.
Yeah, maybe so. You ever been on a skyship before? And kind of gestures around.
No, but there's a first time for everything, you know? Seemed like a good job.
That's a great point. It is a fine job. I mean, views you can't find anywhere else, and these arcane engines are something, aren't they?
There's something for sure, and she's gonna be, like, very defensive at this point. Like what is this guy doing?
Yeah, do you know the history of these arcane engines at all? And he kind of like tries to get you to like let me show you. I kind of like invites you over to walk with him.
No. She's just gonna stay there, just like arms crossed.
Well, he kind of sees it and he comes back and he's like, well, they used to be incredibly volatile. You know, when they were experimenting on creating them, it wasn't uncommon for one to, as experimentation can happen, to explode, killing those working on it.
Is any of his regalia familiar to me or have any symbols on it that I would recognize?
Make a history check. With an advantage for what you're looking for.
Oh, that's terrible. 8.
I think what he's saying right now makes you freak out enough to where it's hard for you to think about what's going on.
Yeah, when she hears the words like experimentation and stuff, she's just kind of fully, her heart is beating very quickly.
Yeah. Easy there. You don't need to get too fretful right now. I mean, thankfully, security measures were put into place, but you know that same potential is still located in those engines right there.
Are you saying there's something I should be worried about then?
I just thought you might find it interesting, matters of the arcane. You seem to maybe have a touch of magic about you. Am I reading that correctly?
I think you have the wrong idea. I'm just a girl.
Literally.
Literally just a girl.
And you said this is your first time in the ship, so you're not from this area. Where are you from originally?
Oh, from far away, I guess. Close to the sea.
Close to the sea. You don't have a name of this town or anything.
It's been a while, so,
I know I always tend to forget those places I spent years of my life living.
Well, I move around a lot, to be fair, so I don't really have a place, but I guess I was born by the sea, but the names all kind of blur together at some point.
Sorry, I did say that in a very rude way. I don't mean nothing by it. Do you still have family that lives by the sea?
No, I don't have family.
Go ahead and make a deception check.
I knew you were gonna ask that. 13.
13? No family. Well, makes sense then why you're up here on this sky ship floating around with the world underneath you. So, I've really enjoyed this conversation. I'd love to stay in touch with you. Might I have your name, or what barracks you're staying at here? Or?
I'm just gonna give him my name. I'm just gonna say Sior. That's it.
Sure, all right. I'm connected to the city pretty well, so I'll try to find you. It's hard to exchange information up here, so I'm sure we'll be in touch soon. Sure, it's a fantastic meeting you. I never introduced myself. How rude as hell. My name's Elthrid Darkplow. So, it's been a pleasure
to meet you.
Right. So, he walks away, and Sjor, as you were talking to this person, Dolly, you hear coming from behind you, "May the mother nurse and nurture you," a voice behind you says.
She just sort of like whips her head around, her eyes bright.
You see, wearing this like elegant dark cloak, purplish gray skin, this dark elf looks back at you. Hard to tell what her age is. She has these kind of like beautiful like red glowing eyes, and she says, I recognize a midwife when I see one. How are you today, sister?
By the mother, you are the first person I've ever met who knew how to talk to me, and you know the mother?
Aye, many years ago I was known as Sister Marrow Vale, but you can just call me Vale now. Go ahead and make a religion check for me, if you don't mind, with advantage based on your background.
Okay. For me, that is a 13.
13? It's a low enough DC. It was a 10. So Marrow, you know to be a title actually from like your religion. Marrow is a title of someone who has deep spiritual insight. So that's where that came from.
Wow, I'm so honored to meet you. I'm very early on in my mission, so I don't really know what's going on or where I am, but how did you get here all the way from Maytera?
Well, I mean, my journey's been quite a long one. You know, I went on my mission as well, and I had some hard lessons along the way that brought me to being where I am here now. But it's always a joy to see a sister out in the field.
Thank you. Do you think we could pray together? Do you still pray?
Well, I no longer carry the mother with me, but her mothering instincts I still sometimes are of use that I do partake in.
Oh. And Dolly is like just devastated to hear that. And like doesn't really like know what to say in response.
It's all right. And I have my own belief in my own mission. I came to believe that, you know, our mother isn't the mothering that I thought would be important for this world, because, you know, I think a mother sometimes needs to be cruel to correct her children, and I think that's the path that I end up finding myself passed down.
Oh. Well, sure. Well, I'll keep you in my prayers, and I hope the mother may nurse and nurture you as well.
You can save me from your prayers. I don't think she wants to hear about me anymore. You know, I think the mother's not above abandoning her children when it comes down to it sometimes, and I very much think she won't want to be hearing about me much.
That is not my experience.
I understand. It's your experience is the same as many, but I believe that fear, power, consequences, and survival, you know, those are valuable philosophies as well that a mother should teach her children. Don't you agree?
Maybe. I'll have to think about it and pray about it, and it was just so lovely to meet you. Can you remind me of your name one more time?
Hey, you call me Vale.
Vale, the Marrow Vale. Are you still of Marrow?
I just go by Vale now.
Oh,
you know,
okay.
I'd be happy.
Okay.
I'd happy to grab a couple with you sometime soon. But you know, enjoy your mission while you're here, and serve us until then. Do you mind if I give you a hug?
Yes, of course.
Right. As she hugs you, she whispers in your ear and says, I've seen your kind out here before. You're either going to run home, abandon it all, or die. The mother's not abandoning you either. Well, it was nice to meet you. I'll be sure to keep you in my prayers as well. And you see, as she walks away, you see her like walk by somebody on the gambling table, quickly cut a lock of hair. She looks at you, puts her finger to her lips and winks, and then like goes back out amongst the people.
Dolly is like floored.
Mm-hmm.
She has no idea. Like, it's just, I'm imagining like holding a tray, just like not like frozen.
Mm-hmm. At this point, I think Sior, you probably have put your attention back to Dolly in this moment about what's going on.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if I see her, and Sior's still very much freaking out as well about her own conversation that she just had. So to see that they're both freaking out, can I send a message to Dolly?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Go ahead.
I'll just send a message and I'll just ask, are you okay?
Can I respond?
Mm-hmm.
You can respond to this message.
I think so. Are you okay?
I'll be fine. Yeah. Seems... Oh, wait, can I respond? I don't think I can.
Just cast it
I
again.
can cast it
It's a cantrip.
Yeah. I'll send a message back and say, we both had very interesting conversations, it looked like, no?
Yeah, I think I'll be thinking about that conversation for a long time.
Okay.
We should talk about it soon.
Dolly will... no, I'm not Dolly. You're Dolly. I'm Sior. Sior will just kind of nod and then go back.
Yeah. Aedrid, you feel someone take your hand gently and try to lead you away from the table. And you look to see your mother just trying to like gesture over to have a moment with you.
What do you need?
Will you come with me?
That depends on where we are going. I was about to win.
Go ahead and roll a d6. And how much did you bet?
Girl. 2. 2 gold.
2 gold, okay. What was your number?
Yeah. 2.
2? I rolled a 1, a 6, and a 6. He says, sorry, not today. Will you join me
Are
then?
you looking at those cards before you deal them? And I'll get up and follow.
That was rude.
Follow my mother.
That was rude, right? So you follow your mother, and she...
I have 0 gold.
That's so funny. So she brings to the edge of the ship, and she just like gazes out, like admiring the city, and she says, "Look out, my son. Does this place really cause you so much harm in your heart?"
The people of this city are the same people that took Kira away. If you expect me to be cordial with them, outside of the pripping and preeming that you wish of me, you will be disappointed.
I don't doubt the pain of your loss, but she made her decisions. She chose to gamble her future. And because of that gambling from her and from the others, I mourn not as much as you. I mourn her loss as well, that she could not be more for you throughout your life. But futures are possible here. A future that...
What is it you want from me, Mother? You wish for me to assimilate
I want you to
myself
have a
into the
future.
culture?
I'm working...
I have a future. This city does not.
She keeps on going and just says, "This is the future that I work for these people, and for our people. It hurts me if you don't find your place in one of those two groups, because turning to the sword will end the future for so many and so many of their generations to follow. You may turn to the sword, son, but I hope you do not put your sword in the way of these people or our people, because it will destroy so many.
Perhaps they deserve to be destroyed.
Perhaps, and perhaps they don't. I don't know if you are the one who can know which side they belong on.
At least I do not spend my time doing coward's work. And I will go back to the gambling table.
Okay.
Putting my like
Oh, yeah,
carefree
yeah.
face back
Great.
on.
You come down, you put another quick bet on another 2 gold, I assume. Go ahead and make it.
Nah, I'm out of
Go-
gold,
So
dog.
you're
I'm
at the
watching.
gambling table. You see like the gnome next to you who's like been doing well. Like he sees you, he's like, hey, here you go. Puts down 2 gold for you. Go ahead and roll another d6.
Torture him.
Here we go. This is it. What'd you get?
I got a
No, I got a 4, 5, and a 6. Hilarious. So funny.
he will just kind of like knock over a drink out of frustration and like get up and walk away.
Okay.
And like go to the opposite side of the ship and just kind of look off. I will say he'll kind of scan for Fenora.
Yeah.
If she's there.
All right.
But he's like just dead set on just getting away.
Great. You and everybody else make a perception check.
Guys, I don't think I've rolled over a 10 tonight.
I got a natural 1.
Oh, awesome.
Go on.
2.
I have an 11.
Got a 7.
Nice.
I got a dirty 20.
Period.
God.
Dang.
Luna's carrying us.
Luna's killing it.
For those of you who rolled 15 or higher, you notice first that the storm off in the distance suddenly seems to become more active as lightning starts to dance across the clouds. For those of you who got 20 or higher, or a natural 20, you notice the clouds shifting as if something massive is pushing them out of the way. And you hear speaking, well, there, everyone, that lightning is a good sign of, oh, good gods. And you see this massive dreadnought of a sky ship erupts out of the storm in the distance. A dark, almost rotted looking wood. And you immediately start seeing small sparks occurring on the deck, even though you can't quite make out what's making those sparks. And then next thing you know, 20 arcane cannons start firing deep purple energy that distorts the air around as they move through the sky. It hits the closest ship, which erupts immediately, and you see the people descending down below. And many more shots start descending down into the city below. And reality starts warping around the ship as several tiny monstrosities erupt out of these small portals, floating with green, rough skin, one large eye, and 4 more eye stalks whipping around the deck. And they're quickly loosened from the back of these small, menacing creatures in cloaks, blades in hand. Everybody roll initiative, and that's what we're going to pick up next week with religion check.
I rolled a 6.
Yeah, go ahead and roll. We'll get those here as I pull up our sign-off message.
I got a 15.
Hey!
I got a 15 too.
Amazing.
I got a 14.
Great. Be sure to write these
I got
down.
an 18.
Go off.
Nice.
That's awesome. All right. So that has been this week's episode of Religion Check Heretics. Keep questioning, keep rolling, and remember, the dice giveth and the dice taketh away. Join us next session where we see where the Prodigal Pilgrims wander next. Thanks for joining.